Welcome to this second week of the Advent series. This week is about waiting in doubt and uncertainty. Maybe even calling that waiting in anxiety. So our practice will be about continuing to be present in our bodies while we stretch ourselves a little bit further than we think we can go. That might be taking one more breath in a posture that feels like our muscles are burning. It might be rooting down, taking one more breath in a balanced posture that feels like we might fall over. Or it might just be that you have shown up today and here you are, not sure, doubting if you can make it through or want to make it through this practice, but you've shown up anyway. And I have found, and I believe, that the practice of doing the thing that you are not sure if you can do or not sure how it will turn out builds within us that trust in our resilience. That's one of the things I found to be so powerful about yoga. Enough talk. This is not my talking video. This is our doing video. So, like last week, you may want to have blocks or books, as I use. You may want to have a blanket to sit on or a blanket to be a prop for your head for a lying down posture, or extra padding for any kneeling postures if your knees feel tender. And you might want to have pillows for any of our more reclining postures, or to support your body in a way that will help it to feel good. So just like we did last week, we'll start with a little bit more movement and then move into some deeper postures. So let's actually begin sitting down. Here we go. We're going to begin sitting down. If you want to have something to sit on, maybe books or blocks, maybe pillows, maybe nothing. Maybe what feels good is to have your feet out straight or very loosely put, but just find whatever might be a comfortable seat for you. Last week we did cat and cow warm-up postures in a tabletop pose. This time we're going to find our sit bones, find some steadiness. The sit bones are kind of the two bottom bones in our pelvis. We can plug those into the ground, into our seat. You can even do these postures in a chair if you'd like to. We'll take a few deep breaths first, closing your eyes if that feels comfortable. Bring your hands to your knees. You can even be doing this sitting down, having your hands in front of you. And on an inhale, open your chest. Maybe open your face up toward the sky. And then on an exhale, curve your spine the opposite direction. We're kind of doing this cat pose, tilting our chin toward our chest. Rolling our shoulders. Inhale, open up your chest toward the sky, drawing your shoulder blades together on your back without bearing any weight in your arms. When we're doing this as we sit up, we can really move into the way that our arms, our shoulders are positioned. Really get some movement going through our upper back. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. I don't know, we're pressing all of our energy toward our back, really, is what we're doing. Inhale, one more. And exhale, curve in. More internal posture. We're going to move a little bit to the side to side as well. Inhale, your left arm up toward the sky. And exhale over any amount toward the right. Inhale and exhale here. Exploring the degrees and spaces of this stretch. You might find that you want to put a little bit more stretch in your shoulder or upper back area. As you inhale, you might concentrate on your ribs and those precious little muscles. You might even roll yourself open toward the sky, feeling that stretch even down toward your hip. Take one more inhale and exhale here. And then on an inhale, bring yourself back up to center. Notice, take a moment and see the difference between your sides. And then as you're ready, bring your left hand down to the mat, right arm up to the sky, and then over to the left any amount, bringing this stretch in to your right side. Inhaling and exhaling here. And just like we did on the other side, you can open yourself up a little toward the sky, or if you'd prefer, you can twist yourself a bit toward the mat and discover a different stretch here. Sometimes you might notice feelings coming up. Bring yourself back to center. As you engage in stretches that become deep, they might become kind of intense. You might have feelings of anxiety or doubt or uncertainty in the midst of those stretches and postures. And that can be part of our practice too, taking one more breath, noticing that you're having that feeling, and just allowing it to be there with you. That's so much our practice of waiting, is noticing what is with us and allowing it to be there. Bring yourself up to the front of your mat, or really you don't have to have a mat at all. I'm practicing also on a rug, and that works just great too. We're going to plug our feet into the ground. Spread your toes out nice and wide. I'll let you see for a second here. Spread your toes out nice and wide, plugging your big toe, your little toe, and your heel into the mat. Bringing your weight into kind of equal distribution throughout your body. We're going to inhale our arms up toward the sky. And exhale, right foot back, right knee down. Inhale your arms up to the sky, finding a little bit of that stability even in the stretch. And then exhale your hands down to the mat, your left foot back to meet your right. You can come down to knees, chest, and chin if your belly allows it. Pull yourself forward into a cobra or seal posture. You can always choose to stay in table or go straight to downward facing dog in any of these postures in case your knees don't feel well or you have a belly that's in the way. Our postures are made for our bodies, not our bodies for the postures. As we all meet up in downward dog, you'll notice I'm kind of walking my feet left and right, getting a little stretch throughout the back of my legs. You can do that too, or bring yourself into stillness. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, bring your right foot forward, your left knee is down. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, come to standing halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out and up. And exhale, hands to prayer position. We're going to inhale our arms up toward the sky, coming through the same set of postures. Exhale your right foot back, right knee down, just like we did last time. You might feel a stretch. Inhale your arms up through the front of your right leg or on your inner thighs. Exhale, hands down. You can come straight into plank here, knees, chest, and chin. You can choose all kinds of postures at this point, depending on what your body needs. Maybe even depending on what time of day you're practicing. If it's the morning and you need a little challenge, a little energizing, maybe you're holding this plank with me. If it's maybe the evening, maybe you need a little grounding and you come on down into this knees, chest, and chin. Wherever you are, you can pull forward into some kind of back bend, something to open your chest up. And then we'll exhale together into downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale here. Feeling the stability of your weight in your hands and your feet. Then as you're ready, step your right foot forward, left knee down. Inhale, arms up to the sky in this low lunge. Exhale, hands down. Step your left foot forward to meet your right. Inhale into this flat back, forward fold. Exhale, release. Let yourself melt toward the mat. You might have jelly arms. You might imagine your worries dripping off of your back and your shoulders, dripping onto the mat and rolling away. Inhale your arms up toward the sky. And exhale, prayer position. One more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, right foot back, right knee down. Place yourself well. Inhale, low lunge, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands down, left foot come back to meet your right. Exhale, bring yourself down. Inhale, cobra, seal, whatever seems like the right thing for you. And exhale into downward facing dog. Bend your knees and look forward if you'd like to kind of prepare yourself here. Bring your right foot forward, your left knee down. Inhale, arms up toward the sky. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, bring that left foot up to meet the right. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms out and up. And exhale, prayer position. You might release your hands out to the sides. Come into Tadasana, this mountain pose. Bring our weight into our heels, feeling nice and solid through our legs, up through our pelvis. Drawing balance and weight into our toes as well, pushing those toe pads into the mat, into the ground. Feeling the energy kind of moving back and forth between our heel and our toes as we're pressing it all into the ground, drawing that energy and strength up into our bodies. Good work. My camera has gone off, so I'm just going to real quickly sign back in so I can see y'all, actually, so that I can see myself and know that I'm staying in the camera. Awesome. Come on up to the front of your mat in that Tadasana position. And as we're waiting in the midst of doubt or uncertainty or even anxiety, one of the things we can do is recognize what we have control over and what we don't have control over. One of the things we do have control over is the rootedness of our feet, and that can provide so much reassurance for us. Let's inhale our arms up toward the sky like we've done a few times before. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to step your left foot back. I've got it at kind of a 45-degree angle. You might have it more than 45 degrees, whatever feels good. We're going to stay up on our feet this time, not down on our knees. We're working on this warrior one position. Imagining we're drawing our hips toward the front of the mat. So you might find that a smaller stance is a good balance for you. The warrior postures challenge us to balance our weight between the future and the past to keep ourselves in the present. So what we're working on is having our front knee bent, our back leg straight, finding balance in the present. If you'd like to, you can draw your arms up toward the sky. That'll be a little bit more of a balance challenge for you. You don't want to have your front knee out over your toes. You might want to step yourself back if you're feeling like that's a challenge. Inhale and exhale here. And on our next exhale, we're going to open up ourselves, opening our chest like we were, drawing our hips to the side. And we want to be careful of this knee still. Don't let it cave in. You want to keep the knee in line with your big toe and your second toe. Arms out toward the sides. This both helps with balance and challenges our balance. So just like in Warrior One, we can tend to look to the future or be too eager for what's about to happen. We can also kind of feel as if we're pulled toward the past. Sometimes I find where I'm unbalanced to be a symbol or a revelation of what I might be struggling with. Anxiety, of course, is being worried about the future, and often things that we cannot control. Doubting that what we hope for will happen. One more breath here. And then on your next inhale, drop your left arm toward your left leg, your right arm up toward the sky. Big stretch in this side of your body. And we'll drop that. Let's just shimmy ourselves back to Tadasana. And notice how your body feels. We've worked a lot on our right side. We're about to go into working on our left side. I'm going to come over this way now so that I'm still facing y'all. I also then don't have a wall here, which is helpful. Inhale your arms up toward the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Step that right foot back this time. 45-degree angle, or you might even want to have it, both facing forward. Balance can be a challenge for anybody at any time. You don't have to have them lined up. Just find what works for the balance in your body. We're coming into this warrior one again, so we're looking at our hips being toward the front, the short edge of our mat, the front of our room, however you want to imagine that. And then bring yourself kind of sinking down into that posture, noticing your knees, noticing your feet, just like we did in Tadasana, with your heels and your toes all plugged in, right? Inhale and exhale. You might be doubting that your legs will continue to do this, right? Take one more breath. On your next exhale, open yourself into this warrior two. If you have the ability, you can kind of try to check in and see where you might be leaning. I often tend to lean a little bit forward, eager for the future, perhaps anxious about the future, doubting whether the future will be good. All things to contemplate. But right now, all that we have for our bodies is right now. This breath. Inhale, your left arm up to the sky, your right arm down toward your leg. Feeling that stretch through your left side. And we'll just kind of shimmy and bring ourselves back up to meet in Tadasana. Maybe even prayer position. Inhale and exhale. Now your body ought to be really nice and warmed up, ready for a few perhaps challenging balance postures, shall we? So I encourage you as we're moving through these to really consider taking one more breath. If you notice those voices telling you, I'm done. First we'll come into chair, so inhale your arms up and exhale yourself back, kind of coming into a squat. Drawing your knees and hips back as far as they will go. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Release yourself down toward the mat in a forward fold. Inhale yourself back up. That wasn't so bad. Let's try it one more time. Inhale, arms up to the sky. And exhale into chair. Take deep breaths. Two more. And release. Beautiful work. Shake that on out. What we'll move into for a moment here is a balance posture, a different kind of challenge. This will be tree. You can use any arm position that is helpful to you. We'll start with bringing our weight into our left leg. We're growing our right leg, our right foot up our left leg. This might be a great spot to challenge your balance, to be with, breathe with your resilience. You can also move your foot up to your shin. You could also bring it all the way up your thigh. Just don't leave it at your knee. because putting this sideways pressure on your knee is super unstable and can damage your precious joint. So imagine plugging your foot in, just like we were in Tadasana, with 2 feet on the floor. You might even want to grow your branches out, or just straight out, or straight up. Let's do 3 more breaths. And on your 3rd exhale, release. Imagine you'll notice a difference between the left side and your right. Make note of what you feel in your muscles. I feel burning. And then as you're ready, set yourself up on your right leg. Growing your left foot, your left leg up the side. The sides of your body will be different. You might find a different spot for your tree branch to grow this side. It can help to find a focal point on the wall, something to stare at in front of you, something unmoving. And though the movement of breath may seem as if it is a distraction, I promise that sign of life and sign of resilience will actually be strengthening and grounding. So keep breathing. One of the other important pieces of yoga and of life is that when you fall, you come back again and try again. 2 more breaths. And release. Good work. We're training our nervous systems and our brains, our bodies, our very cells to have a different kind of response when we experience stress. Balancing on one foot is a stress on our bodies, on our nervous systems, and to train it specifically in this way can really help us when we face stressful situations that are part of our daily lives. So let's do one more. We're going to do one more posture. I'm going to grab my water bottle to help me balance. You could also grab a block, but I needed something with some height to it. You could also grab a book. If you want to put a book on a side, it might need to be something a little bit tall. What we're going to practice is called half moon pose. You got this. You could also use a chair. Why not? Let's try that. Watch this. So place your chair or place your body, your foot, whichever foot you're starting with. We're going to go back to our left leg, about a foot away from behind your balance object. This is a little bit tall, but that's okay. It's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to be lifting this right leg. So you can use your balance object, lift your right leg. Right now my body is oriented toward the ground, but let's do something crazy and open it up toward the sky, or even just toward the side. So now we are, again, balancing. We have a little bit of help. If you're feeling a little bit more limber, you can use something like your water bottle, again, placed about a foot in front of your foot and maybe out to the side just a few inches. Coming into this posture this way, or using your book, or if you'd like to, you can even use your hand, or you can use nothing at all. Keep breathing. This wall is really being a problem for me. And then as you're ready, come back to center. This is a posture that puts a lot of stress on your pelvis. And it's a posture that is very unbalanced, not only in the fact that you're on one leg, but also in the fact that as you're turning your hips, your weight is not super evenly dispersed throughout your pelvis. So it's possible you might feel a little bit of pain there, especially if you're super mobile. So one of the things you might want to do is really clench your glutes while you're doing this posture. That's some of the work that we were doing in our warrior poses. We'll come into this on the other side, right foot as our balance. Left foot up behind us. Or if you don't want to use the chair, you can again use something like a water bottle. Opening yourself to the side, clenching your glutes to protect your lower back. And as you're clenching those glutes, that really sends a lot of stability into your hips, which can maybe make it easier to lift that other leg if you want to. One more inhale and exhale, release. Great work. Let's bring ourselves down to the mat. Bring your feet out in front of you. Notice and connect with those sit bones again. And let yourself melt forward any amount. You may want your pillows on your legs. Inhale and exhale, letting your body settle. Noticing any sensations in your body. Beautiful. Bring yourself back up to seated. Remove those props. We're going to bring ourselves down onto our backs. If you are 20 weeks or less pregnant. If you are more than 20 weeks pregnant, here's what I suggest you do instead. Put some pillows behind you and recline, well, even more. Recline so that there's not quite so much of the weight of your beautiful baby going straight into your back. But for the rest of us, bring yourself down to the mat. Knees up toward the sky. If you'd like to, especially if you feel any crankiness in your low back, you can heel toe your feet out toward the edges of your mat to be wider than your hips, and let your knees come in toward one another. That can provide a little bit more space in your low back. And then if you'd like even more opening in your hips, you might let both of them fall out to the right, and then carefully draw them up and let both fall out to the left. It's kind of windshield wiper posture. Moving back to the right and left if you'd like. A few times it might even kind of massage your lower back. The pelvis has been the site of a lot of our work today. One of the most important postures of yoga in any practice is Shavasana, the corpse pose at the end of class, which we'll do in just one moment. It allows our body to let go, to enjoy and reap all of the benefits of the postures that we've done, to sort of digest all of the information we've given it. So again, if you're more than 20 weeks pregnant, you'll want to set yourself up so that you're on your side and not on your back. If you have any contraindications because of any medical diagnoses that you don't want to be on your back, you're welcome to be on your side as well. Some schools of yoga want you to have no props. I'm more of the school that takes inspiration from the death statues in Westminster Abbey, where they've got pillows and they've got blankets and they've got swords with them and all kinds of things to help make themselves comfortable in death. So you may want to place a blanket or more between your knees, however it feels good for you and will allow you to fully release. And that will be the challenge, right? As you find yourself in this posture of surrender. Surrender is also a posture of trust, really. The opposite of doubt, opposite of anxiety. And so this pose, Shavasana, is itself a practice and way to release our irritation at uncertainty. You might want to use this time to scan your body, starting with your head, noticing any places of tension, moving down through your neck and shoulders, your upper arms, elbows, lower arms and hands. Coming back to notice your chest, your back, your abdomen, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your shins, calves, your ankles, and feet. Begin to deepen your breath again. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your wrists and your ankles. Bring movement to your arms and your legs. Roll to your favorite side, and using your arms as your aid, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Just like we began the practice, we'll end the practice sitting here. Sometimes the most uncomfortable thing I can do is just sit. The thoughts come up that I want to move the laundry from the washer to the dryer, pick the toys up, wipe down the countertops, check my email. But what if we choose just to breathe? You might do another body scan at this moment before we close our practice. Maybe starting at your feet this time, just for something different. Maybe noticing as you move up your spine whether you're leaning forward or whether your weight is back, or whether you are balanced on your sit bones. As you feel ready, you can float your eyes open. Thank you so much for joining me in practice today. Namaste means that the divine that dwells in me recognizes that the divine dwells in you too. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today, and remember that our reflection video is either below or will be coming out in a few days. We'll have 2 more weeks of this Advent series. Thanks for joining me.